But looking here, there are actually two secret fruits that deal more damage than dragon. One is the celestial fruit, Renegon thingy dude, what? And one is the only fruit. Oh my! But before we test those two fruits, let's start with the most garbage fruits. Okay, so starting up with rocket and spin. Alright, let's do this. Yeah, it did 2.8. What about you? How much damage did you do? Oh, that much damage? That's pretty low considering the fact that we're still at common fruits. And now we're gonna be moving on to blade and spring fruit. Ready, set, go! Okay, I'm doing some baby damage and that's all I got. And now we got the newly reworked bomb fruit and the smoke fruit. But the question is, which one does more damage? Well, obviously bomb. Ready, set, and 8,000 damage. That's not even a competition if I do say so myself. But these two fruits will deal even more damage. But now let's see if flame is higher than spike. I mean, if you ask me a question, that's not even fair if you think about it. Anyways, you ready? Let's do this. Ready, set, go! 5,000 damage and it's still going? 6,000 compared to Spike's. I don't even know if that's damage, but whatever. If you guys think that was cool, this is even cooler because we got the ice fruit and the sand fruit. Go. Gold Storm! And that dealt 4.7k damage compared to Sand's damage. And now we're moving on to the newly reworked Eagle versus Dark Fruit. I'm really confident that Eagle will deal a lot more damage than Dark, because, you know, Eagle is pretty new. So, you ready, cameraman? Ready, set, go! Oh my goodness, that was 2.5k damage. That was a pretty close comparison. It is time for Diamond and Light. Let's see which one will deal more damage. Comment down below. Ready, set, go! Okay, I'm dealing a lot of damage right here, and I dealt 4.2k damage compared to Light's 2.5k damage. I did not expect that gap. Now it's time for Ghost and Rubber. I have a feeling that Rubber will definitely decimate Ghost in this competition, but I'll try anyways. 3, 2, 1, let's go! 3.8k damage compared to Rubber's 4.6k damage? But is it more insane than Quake and Magma's damage? Alright, 2.6. Well, that's actually a surprise. Quake does 2.6k damage compared to Magma's Z move. Oh my goodness, that is insane. Well, that's pretty broken for Magma. Now we're going to Buddha and Love. Let's check the damage. Okay. 3.6, 7,000 damage for Buddha? Why isn't no one using Fruit Stats Buddha nowadays? Buddha's pretty broken, but if we compare the damage of Buddha to these two secret fruits, it is not even close. But what about the gap between Spider and Creation? Ready, set, go! Okay, we got some insane damage over here. 7.2k damage? Oh, this is insane. 7.2k compared to Creation is crazy. And if you guys think that's crazy, what about Sound versus Phoenix? Okay, let me go ahead and get my bar real quick. I'm pretty confident that Sound will definitely take the cake over here. Ready, set, let's go! Alright. 4.2. 5.6? Compared to Phoenix's damage. Well, the gap is pretty huge if I do say so myself. But what about Portal and Lightning? These two are one of the fastest fruits and blocks fruits, if we're being for real here. But now, what about the damage? Ready? Set! 1.5k compared to 7,000, but 7,000 doesn't even come close to the damage what these fruits do. Now we're actually gonna be moving on to the mythical tier fruits. And now I'm gonna show you guys Gravity's ultimate move compared to Blizzard's domain expansion. If you guys think Gravity's gonna get the top damage, comment down below. Ready, set, go! Alright, let's do this. I don't know how much Gravity's gonna do, but hopefully this will be massive. Alright, there's some cool stuff. Take this! 5.6 damage after all that. Really? And surprisingly, it was a close match? But what about Mammoth and T-Rex? Ready, set, go! Alright, I hit him with that one. And I'm dealing 3.4k damage. Considering the fact that these two are the same value, I'm surprised T-Rex won. And finally, it is time for Doe versus Shadow. Speaking of Shadow, I'm actually hoping Shadow gets a rework since, you know, we're close to the Halloween update. But anyways, ready, set, go! Okay, getting some cool damage over here every now and then. 3.7k damage. 3,000 damage compared to Shadow's 7,000 damage. Well, that's just unfair. But these fruits are even more unfair, and we are very close to testing them. Finally, it is time for Gas and Venom. Okay, C skill. We're gonna fully charge this. Well, that is actually interesting. That's almost double the damage. 5.4k and 10k damage? That is insane. Now it's time for Control versus Spirit. Okay, ready when you are. Let's go! Okay. We're doing some crazy damage over here, but all that led to 3.5k damage compared to Spirit's 5,000 damage. We are getting close to these two fruits, but for now, let's compare Leopard and Yeti. Ready, set, go! 3.5k damage. With Yeti done, it is time to test the Leopard. And that is what you call a close match. Leopard got 3.4k damage, while Yeti got 3.5k damage? I mean, let's be for real here. Leopard is the worst mythical fruit ever, and no one can change my mind. We are getting close to the two secret fruits, but we still have Dragon and Kitsune. And a Kitsune dealt 4,000 damage on its attack. But what about the Dragon? 3, 2, 1... 3.8k damage compared to Kitsune's 4.4 damage? Bro, Dragon needs a buff! But one more fruit before we go to these two fruits, and I tell you, this fruit does so much damage. It is time for Celestial Pain. Let's go. How much damage am I gonna do? Yep, I'm just gonna keep going until I die, actually. Okay, I'm actually still going. 12k? 30k? Oh no, I'm gonna die soon! I'm killing you fast! Alright, that's 20k damage! But now, let's head over to the long-awaited Celestial Fruit. And while I was doing the best move there is, it only dealt 2,900 damage. Yo, what is this VFX? But will the Oni Fruit deal more damage? Let's find out. Oni Fruit! Oh my goodness! The Oni Fruit is so real! OMG, it deals so much damage! Please nerf this fruit! Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.